we like to call All the Takes with Patrick. Patrick, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Pat.
All right, we'll start out this first story, and unfortunately, it's a local story. It takes place about 15 minutes away from us in Ardmore.
What?
So before I get into this, have any of you guys been a waiter in your life?
Yes.
I've never been to the service
Everybody
industry.
at some point should have to be a waiter or work in a restaurant. It would make the world a better place.
Yeah.
Well, times are tough for the waitstaff industry after with the coronavirus ravaging the industry, but restaurants...
It's just 12% of all employment in the United States.
Yes,
no big
it
deal.
is.
Restaurants have had to adjust and push forward, and that's what John Henry's Pub in Ardmore has done. John Henry's has enforced a strict mask policy to keep diners and the staff safe. And when one man came into the bar without a mask, he was politely asked to put a mask on. In the man's defense, a year ago, that request would have been totally ludicrous. But then again, we're in a global pandemic. So it's the sort of a reasonable request, but what do I know? I'm just a cuck-lib soy boy. Anyway, I digress. So the guy was asked to put a mask on. He did that. There wasn't much of an incident. He got his food. He ate his food. He was given his bill. He paid it and left. But the funny thing about bills is, in this country, there's a little line for a tip.
No.
Are you guys aware of this?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this.
So for D-bags like him, and let me go on to explain. So waiters and waitresses make about $2 an hour, and after taxes...
Hey, it's like $2.83.
Okay,
right?
excuse me. Well, after taxes, they go home with basically nothing. Unless you're Jamie Lynch, you go home with a king's ransom in the waitstaff industry,
Well,
right?
he was
Wow,
good
look at him.
He was good at his job.
Gorgeous.
Absolutely. He served pies with the best of them. So that little tip line is pretty important because it's how they make a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everything right now.
Well, instead of leaving a tip, Nikki No Mask simply wrote mask on the tip line, stiffing the waitress. The manager took a photo of the bill and put it on social media.
Yeah.
Story's blown up. Shockingly, the guy has not come forward, but others have and have been leaving tips for the waitress to show their support. So let me just say, this isn't rocket science. If you go out, tip, follow the rules.
Yes.
Like on both accounts, follow the rules of what the restaurant wants you to do with masks.
This shouldn't be hard. Like, we've been at this a while now.
Yeah, right?
It shouldn't be that difficult.
If you're able to overtip right now, it's a great time to do that stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
I went out yesterday and had a beer outside, and watching the restaurants around where I was, these servers now have to carry in and out all of the outdoor dining stuff that typically they never did.
Oh, yeah.
The heaters, the tables, the chairs. So I watch these waiters and waitresses, working for like an hour and a half pre-shift where they're not making any money.
Yeah.
Carrying all this stuff that they typically don't have to. So please take care of your servers right now.
Absolutely. And if you can't afford to eat out,
Then don't go out.
Then don't go out. Like,
Or get pick up and take it away.
Yeah,
and you don't have to tip much on
Right.
that.
Yeah,
or
but
at all.
But
really.
this snowflake got so offended by the fact that he was simply asked to do what everybody else is asked to do that
Right.
he sat
So
there and stiffed them and just wrote
Unbelievable.
mask.
Can I want to ask this question real quick of the servers in the room here? Pat, did you serve? Were you a waiter or anything?
I did not, but I do Quizzo at a bar, so I see what. No, in all honesty, no. I see what they go through.
Okay.
Like I've always been one to over tip because I feel like someone has probably stiffed them at some point.
I never write in the tip because I always bring cash. I always like to tip in cash so they don't have to wait, I guess. I always just write cash on that line. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, so,
I've asked this question before, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think that's the proper way to do it
Yeah, okay,
because celebrities like yourself, people might be like, oh, he stiffed me, but in reality, you left a hefty tip.
Well,
This guy
you're damn right, I
didn't.
left a hefty
This
tip.
guy
the
didn't-
opposite of LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah, this guy didn't leave a mask.
I've had terrible service. I've never tipped below 20%.
I can't do it. It's
Yeah.
not.
So for me, it's bad service is 20%, horrible service is 15, normal's 25. If I really like you, it's like 30.
Yeah, I'm usually around 30, but that's just how
Well,
I am.
I mean, look at you're very
Yeah,
successful.
right.
You have an espresso
No,
machine.
I just...
you're very
the
successful.
espresso machine was a gift.
All right, we'll move on to the Titans and Bills game. It's been moved to Tuesday,
Yes.
and immediately every single Eagles fan is having a horrible flashback of UAB's finest, Joe Webb.
Joe Webb game canceled after a game where I argued with James, good friend there, James Lynch, Jim Cantori.
Yeah.
I argued with him about the weather.
Nation of
Because I
How
thought
wuss.
could you
Stud.
argue with Jim Cantori?
Because
you're going to hell.
Sometimes, Bob, I can be arrogant.
Jamie and I love Jim Cantori.
Well, so do I. That's
No,
why I
you
felt-
don't. You fought with him.
That's why I
you don't
felt
fight
so-
with someone you
That's
love.
why I was giving him a ride back
Bob,
to
I
his
love
hotel.
you, and I fight with you all the time. But I love you.
The Joe Webb game's stupid.
It's worth mentioning, though, this Titans-Bills game actually has a chance of going on because the news just broke about an hour ago that the Titans had no more positive tests.
No more positive tests.
So there's a chance they actually might play this game.
You're saying there's a chance.
Screw
else
Joe
you got?
Webb. Screw that guy. Justin Williams announced his retirement from the NHL yesterday. Williams was a first-round pick of the Flyers back in 2000, played his first 4 years with the team until being traded in an ultimately horrible move. Flyers traded Williams straight up for Danny Markov. That did not pan out.
Yes.
How many cups did Williams win?
I believe
3?
2 or 3.
At least two.
At least 2.
One
At
with
least
the,
2, yeah.
one with the Hurricanes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
No, with the Capitals. He didn't win with the Hurricanes.
He won, and he won with the Kings, too, right?
He won with the Kings. He won
Right.
with the Capitals. He was on the Cup final team last year with the Hurricanes, but they didn't win.
Okay.
Right. No, I don't even know sports. I don't even know sports.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry.
You're busy fighting with weatherman. You don't even know the sport. Now, all right.
He scored a goal in his first game, and I'm like, this guy's going to do something special, and he did, just not with the Flyers.
Well, in fairness to the Flyers, and look,
They were living in Ventnor, by the way, up until like 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Oh, so go stalk them.
Well, he brought the
Apparently, he
cup.
already has.
Yeah, he brought the cup to the beach. Didn't he?
Jamie is low-key like John Heyman. So follow me here for a second. John Heyman is famous for humble bragging who he runs into on Twitter. He'll just be like, oh, yeah, I ran into so-and-so at the Starbucks. Jamie does that all the time, too. Oh, yeah, I was walking my dog, and I just happened to see Jake Voracek. Oh, yeah, so-and-so is
How is that
living
a
in
humble
Ventnor.
brag?
Yeah,
It's a humble
Mark
brag.
and Bob, do I do that?
Because he's acting like he surrounds himself with a higher establishment because he makes $2.80 as a waiter.
Fake news.
In all honesty, I'm totally on Anthony's side about you fanboying over Jake Voracek.
What am I supposed to say? The guy doesn't have a cute puppy?
I'm totally on Anthony's side there. But I do believe you do not, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, humble brag that you bumped into someone.
No, I don't.
It's worth noting. I bumped into Pat Gillick one time at an airport, and I told somebody, I'd be like, well, gee, you couldn't be more cocky about it.
They're rubbing elbows.
And I'm like, how is that bragging? When you're like, hey, a person of note, I saw.
At a very public place.
Exactly.
It's worth mentioning that Jake Voracek doesn't have a dog. He was commenting on something completely different.
He had a cute little puppy. What am I supposed to say? I'm
And
a
in,
dog lover.
in defense of the Flyers, by the way,
All right.
Williams didn't really take off until after the lockout. They changed all those rules, and that's when he really hit his stride. It's still a bad trade, no matter how you slice
I
it.
agree.
but-
What else you got?
All right, we'll move on to Fat Man trailer. Had the internet abuzz yesterday.
Wow.
As I think most people watched for a joke that...
By the way, a caller just called in and said he does have 3. He did win one with the Hurricanes. Pat Egan doesn't know hockey. His words, not mine. His words, not mine. We'll have to fact check
That's
that.
what I thought, Pat.
Yeah, fact check that while I do this next story.
3
Jamie.
cups in your face.
Look, that's why I'm
Wow.
moving on to movie trailers.
Pat
and
needs a piece of pie.
not from you, Bob. The Fat Man trailer had the internet abuzz
Never eaten
yesterday,
your pie again.
as I think most people waited for a joke that would never come. So if you head on over to our Twitter account at
Oh, my
975
God.
Mornings, I just tweeted the trailer where Mel Gibson plays Santa Claus, who is having to deal with an assassin after a 12-year-old hires a hit on the guy because Santa gave him coal. And it's not like a joke. It's like a serious kind
This
of movie.
is a real movie made by a real studio.
Well, our
with,
buddy
real
Prince on
actors.
Twitter thinks it's a dark comedy.
I tend to no. I
I
think
get where he's coming from because Walter Goggins is a comedic actor, but what?
No, Cable Guy is a dark comedy.
Yeah.
All right? This just looks like a terrible movie about, like, Santa Claus as a guy a hitman's trying to kill because they gave a kid coal.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we've evolved to as a society now. We're not going to make a movie about a bad kid getting coal, deservedly so, and now we got to kill Santa Claus.
This might be a situation though where it was supposed to be a dark comedy that fell flat. Like no one got the joke.
When's it come out, Pat?
How is Mel Gibson?
We know you'll see it as soon as it comes out, right?
I probably will see it because I'm not a hockey guy, as the caller alluded to. I don't know when it comes out because a lot of these movies are
they're all
TBD
delayed.
right now.
Are you a
because
hockey man? You a hockey warrior?
I am not airborne, but I did like that movie though.
Yeah.
We'll move on. All right. Are any of you guys familiar with Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell? Crickets. Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, so Mitchell is one of my favorite UFC fighters. He's an undefeated featherweight from Arkansas, and he's about as hick as they get.
You know, all I want to say is I love my family, I love my friends, I love my teammates, I love my coaches, I love God, and I love Arkansas. And Reebok, I ain't going nowhere.
You're not going anywhere.
Camo shorts ready.
Yeah, he loves Arkansas, and he wants camo shorts. Those are the things that he's steadfast on.
Wait, Reebok is on the same level as God in his world?
No, Reebok makes the fight kits for the fighters. They make the uniforms. They are keeping him from having his camo shorts that he desperately wants.
Okay.
That's how hick this guy is. All right. This guy... This is a guy who had one of the nastiest injuries ever when he put a drill in his waistband doing work around the house, and he'll explain that in a second. Another thing you probably are unaware of
Okay.
is while the UFC sold for $4 billion, their fighters aren't unionized and they don't get paid much. So any endorsement deal that comes their way, like, say,
It's
a used
gold.
car dealership, they're going to take it. And that's what happened with Bryce Mitchell. He was hit up by a used car dealership in Arkansas, and they made the greatest car commercial ever. Take a listen.
Hey, y'all, it's Bryce Thug Nasty Mitchell here. I'm at Drive On Time Motors, 900 East Line Road, Searcy, Arkansas, White County. They paid me to be here. These ain't my cars, and I don't really care about them. They got the #1 inventory in the state.
#1 inventory.
Oh, what's that? Well, never mind, but there is a lot of cars here.
There is a lot of cars here.
Can't even tell these rigs been smoked in.
Smells good.
When I ripped my testicles open with the drill, I had to drive myself to the hospital in my pickup truck. I really wish I would have had this Corvette. I would have made it on time.
All right.
He would have made it on time. Did he? Did he not get there on time? What was the
Apparently
result?
not. Apparently not. All right, so I just threw the video of the commercial on our Twitter account at 975 Morning, so you can check out all the amazing special effects they have. The video is unbelievable, though.
I don't know how to follow a drill to the
Did he lose his
gonads.
test?
Yeah. What? Give us more on the injury.
Yeah,
both
so
of 'em?
he didn't give really an update when it happened on what exactly like the follow-up was, but he did tweet a picture of his boxers that were just covered in blood. So he was doing work around the house, drill in the waistband. I guess it slipped. And
Why are you
somehow got
drilling the
stuck.
waistband?
This guy is, as he said, as hick as they get.
Okay. I know someone.
He needed another knot in his belt.
The dumbest thing I've ever seen in a house is somebody trying to iron a shirt they were currently wearing.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it didn't end so well for my buddy.
Well, I mean, you're a pie. All right.
All right, what else you got?
No, that's there was no birthdays, unfortunately. I mean, there's somebody's birthday out there. Happy birthday to you, but I couldn't find any birthdays, and
do
nothing.
do you even know sports?
Nothing in Today in History hit.
Do
so
you
Wait,
do you
you're
know
not
music?
done yet.
I think today's John Lennon's birthday.
never heard of him.
Bella Hadid, John
Oh,
Lennon,
oh.
Sean Lennon,
John.
Guillermo del Toro.
Wait, he had a
Sean
son on his
Lennon?
birthday? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he did.
Wait,
Wow.
his
What?
son is the same birthday?
Yeah, according to Google.
Is that the one that he does that he didn't really pay attention
Yes.
to?
Okay. Well, what about this day in history? What do you have for this
Deadbeat
day in
dad.
history?
There was nothing worth
I
noting.
got a little something. You're not done
Scott Bakula.
yet. Oh, Scott Bakula.
We referenced Scott Bakula.
It's Scott Bakula's
Major
birthday.
League 3, back to the minors. Scott Bakula, Quantum Leap.
Does anybody have a number on Scott Bakula? Be great. Bob, you said I'm not done. What did I miss?
You're not done.
You're not done.
You missed a tragic story from Center City
jerk.
Go ahead.
where 1,500 birds, up to 1,500 birds,
1,500?
1,500 met their demise on their journey to either Central America or somewhere else.
Is this a omen for the birds on Sunday?
What?
Oh, why'd you,
Now I know how you feel, Pat.
Why'd you have
Now I know how you feel.
No, I didn't say that.
I know how you feel.
That was
I'm on
Jamie.
your side. I know it was Jamie.
That's why would you say that? No, you throw that in
Wow.
the ether. We got dead birds in Center City. You're throwing that in the ether?
So about 1,500 of them flew into the windows of a Center City skyscraper. So around a 3.5 block radius from 17th to 19th Streets between Market and JFK Boulevard, there was between like 1,000 and 1,500 birds lying dead on the sidewalk.
Those poor birds.
I know. They ran into the windows. So, as the line was going to be, but Jamie already took it. Yeah, Pat, I feel your pain, buddy.
Sorry, guys.
Why don't they just name it after Jamie now?
Seriously.
All Jamie's takes.
I don't know.
Seriously.
Yeah, really.
You
Try
have
to contribute, and he's got to jump in anyway.
It's
You have a
terrible.
day named after you. You get paid more than other servers, $2.80 an hour. I mean, like,
All right,
wants
here's-
it all.
You
That's-
ready
that's
for this
all
day
it
in
takes.
history? You ready for that? No.
That's
And it was
it.
Mike Singletary's birthday, too.
Here we go.
What the hell, man? Do you even know sports? You don't
Hey,
know
are you
hockey?
trying?
Sports?
I
Did
don't
you
want
prepare?
winners. I want a producer that shuts up. That's what I want. I don't want winners.
Hey, by
Mike,
the way,
happy birthday, Mike
in
Singletary.
1888, on this day, the first people were admitted inside the Washington Monument.
That's
Interesting.
exactly. There was nothing going on today.
Yeah, boom.
That's nothing.
Sorry, I love America. You jerk.
That's awful.
And that's all the thing.
Well, I mean, he said
Wow.
he said it best. I mean, no, it's,
that's all it takes.
yeah, but you understand,
I like
Bob.
yours.
No, that's all it takes.
I'd
It's
rather have
over.
him saying it than Jamie.
Cut the music.
But I like the way you say it.
I was waiting for him.
That is all it takes.
There we
I wanna
go.
Punch you in your face. Second you say that. No, not in a bad way though.
No, in like a professional manner.
In a very professional
Respectful.
manner.
Naples?
Professionally speaking, I want to punch you in the face repeatedly.
Motivationally,
Yeah.
I want to harm you.
Oh,
I want you to
okay.
be better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that I understand
Yeah,
that.
that's all right.
Have at it.
That's fine. Is the artwork done yet, by the way, Pat, for Twitter?
The artwork is done. I'm going to add the audio for context.
Well, that punch in the
might
face
not have
won't
heard
be to try to boost your morale.
Right.
No, that'll be to hurt you.
That'll be punitive.
Yeah.
That'll be more of a punitive punch.
Mark Farzetta with Bob Cooney and Jamie Lynch. Mornings on 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.